The key word in the novel you are about to hear is guilt. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines the word guilt in the following way: the fact of having committed a breach of conduct, especially violating law and involving a penalty. There is also a second definition that fits the tone of this novel. Quote, feelings of deserving blame, especially for imagined offenses or from a sense of inadequacy. Unquote. This definition begs an answer to a serious question. Why would a soldier who served the United States in one of its darkest hours feel any sense of guilt? It seems hard to believe that any man or woman who answered this call of duty to country would feel in this manner, but it does happen. I was not aware that my father felt a sense of guilt stemming from his service and sacrifice in World War II until long after he passed. Why would a man who threw himself on a beach against Fortress Germany in the global struggle against fascism feel any kind of guilt for this sacrifice? Because he was captured. He allowed himself to be captured. As Allied forces closed in on Germany from all sides near the end of World War II, the soldiers who had been captured in previous raids and battles felt a tremendous sense of guilt. They didn't want to be rescued. They wanted to be with the soldiers who were rescuing them. This is a guilt that stayed with many surviving veterans long after World War II had ended. There is a similar sense of guilt that plays out in this novel. Like thousands of other men and women before and after him, author T.S. Lewis served an extended tour of duty in Iraq. He trained soldiers for war. He served in a war. His novel covers the dangers that soldiers on the ground faced day in and day out. His guilt stems from walking into and searching buildings that were not wired to explode, or driving through streets in Baghdad and elsewhere in Iraq where improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, were not waiting to go off. He was never the target of a sniper or an insurgent's bullet. Other soldiers he served with, however, were not as fortunate. Other soldiers he served with did walk into buildings that were wired with explosives. Other soldiers he served with drove down the wrong street at the wrong time and suffered tragic consequences. It is a question he frequently asks. Why did he survive while so many others around him suffered? Why did the United States military win a war to bring down a hated dictator, but fail to win the hearts and minds of the Iraqi people? Sergeant T.S. Lewis knows why. He was there. Sometimes it takes a soldier on the ground to answer the question of why. And now, the why of war. An unorthodox soldier's memoirs.